Shalom. We are in Parashat Teruma. It means gifts. Context: the tabernacle, the construction of the tabernacle. Or actually, not the construction. We're going to get to the construction. This is the blueprint of the tabernacle revealed to Moshe after he went up to level number 3, the third level on the mountain. Remember, the second level was the place where they ate with Elohim. They met the council of Elohim. That's the 74 men. And then 73 stayed behind while Moshe went up through the cloud or the veil into the third level, or the Holy of Holies, symbolic of the Holy of Holies, into the presence of Yahweh, where he received the 2 tablets of stone with the written 10 words, as well as the instructions regarding the tabernacle. Now you can see the connection between the importance of the tabernacle. It is seen in the same level as the 2 tablets written in stone, the commandments written in stone, which is the foundation of the Torah, of his word, the book of the covenant. It's also the foundation of his house. Now, later this week, it's probably tomorrow, which is the day before we're going to present this, I'm going to look at the menorah. And the menorah relates to the fire we talked about yesterday. And one of the words of fire, the words connecting to it, is the word foundation. So, the foundation of Yahweh's word, the foundation of Yahweh's house. And now we see the foundation of the fire within the house, which is seen as coals on the golden altar. It's seen as the 7 flames on the menorah. It's also seen as the coals on the brazen altar. And then you have the glory of Yahweh, which is the essence of the flame on top of the Ark of the Covenant in level 3, or in the Holy of Holies. So we see fire in all 3 areas: the outer court, the holy place, and the Holy of Holies. And the fire connects all 3 together, and that symbolizes the light. Remember, one of the words we looked at is that we are in the process of being created as light beings, to become light, to be the light of this world, which relates to the stars in heaven. The prophecy that was given to Abraham, you won't be able to count them, they will be like the stars in heaven. That is the kingdom of priests, the one who facilitate and operate within this house of light, which is light by the glory and the fire of Yahweh, and the symbolism of that, of which flames is the physical representation of the spiritual fire, which is Yahweh's holiness. We also see in this study the 3 chambers with 3 gates, or 3 entry points. Now, when you look at the doorway, look at the gate, you're always entering from one level, stepping into a next level as you pass through that gate. So the gate transforms your environment, or the space, or maybe the time, where you move to a higher dimension. Now, we specifically refer to it as dimensions, because we tend to think of everything in our own little world, our own fleshly way of seeing things. Oh, you need to touch it in order to see it and to believe it. Otherwise, I can't comprehend it. But everything that relates to the tabernacle are spiritual things that are now expressed in a physical form, so we can have some sort of an understanding of the spiritual gearwork and processes that happen when we enter through these physical symbolic objects and spaces that reveals to us what's happening in the spiritual. And as I mentioned before, the work of Mashiach is the Moedim, the 7 Moedim, the cycles of 7. And now we see the same process, the work of Mashiach, expressed through 3 things, the 3 areas of the tabernacle that take you from the one, and the one give you access to the other. There's not the three gates are not facing outward. When you come from the dark world, I can pick a door now. There's 3 doors. Which one I want to pick? Go to the Holy of Holies. And that's one misconception that Christians have, which I've been taught as a young Christian. You come to faith. Now you can run and jump on the lap of the Father. No, the tabernacle is the way you approach Yahweh. Remember what I said yesterday about offering? Korban means to draw near. In order to draw near, it gives you a sense of it's dangerous. I need to be cautious and careful, and I need to take, educated steps, making a decision in taking that step, understanding the consequences. Why do I say that? Because we see that later on, which is still to come, Aaron's sons, they brought strange fire before Yahweh, and they were consumed and they died because of the holiness of Yahweh, and they weren't right. They didn't approach Yahweh in the right way. Yahweh is dangerous. Yahweh is an awesome being, and his awesomeness is compared to a fire and to light. And our beings are relating to carbon-based physical forms and water. And it's not coming natural to a carbon-based object like a tree or a human. We cannot exist in fire. Fire will destroy us. So we need to be translated into a light being, a being that can stand the extreme heat of fire. And we see the symbolism, and we've seen that last year when we looked at one of the functions or expressions of the work of Mashiach is that he is a goldsmith. And he shaped the gold, he purified the gold, and then he cast it into a mold in order to make a beautiful piece of jewelry or a beautiful object that is placed within his house. And we basically are the substance of what gold represents. We start off being silver. Silver is more a metal that relates to the physical realm, and gold is the elevated state and the transformation into a higher level, which is more the level of deity, a level of kingship, a higher level. And that's why Mashiach is the King of Kings. Who do you think the other kings are? They are the ones who started off being the kingdom of priests, and they are now the leaders in this world and the previous worlds that successfully walked a road of holiness, elevated the steps of righteousness, and attained a reward where they rule over the nations as kings. Abraham was seen as a king, and that is the foreshadow of what the ultimate goal is for those who persevere and keep on pursuing holiness, is the kingship and the ability to rule. So it's not something that's given to you because he favors you. It's something you need to grow into. It's like a training process, and this life is the training ground where you get the training, and if you work with him, you can attain that level, because that is his ultimate goal, for us to be kings and for a function of helping the nations, not even within this cycle, but in this cycle that is to come, or not even in this world, but the world that is to come. So that is the 3 levels, basic idea of how you access it. You do it with care. The one give you access to the next. There's no jumping, there's no back door, there's no option of 3 doors standing on the outside in the world of darkness. You need to enter the first one, and then as you face these objects, those are objects of transformation and training that relates to you. And as you enter from the first stage to the second stage, you will have access, just like Moses, to the last stage, the 3rd level, the Holy of Holies, the presence, the chambers of the king, just like Esther had to prepare herself for 12 months to come before the king. In the same way, the tabernacle prepare us to come and stand before the king as the bride of Mashiach. So we are now being trained, formed, beautified, beautified and prepared as the bride, so we can come into the presence of the King and then fulfill the final stages of the marriage covenant that will make Adam Echad with one another and make Adam Echad back with Yahweh in the spiritual. So I just want to leave you with those few thoughts. I hope you have a lovely day. Speak to you soon. Shalom.